Jamie Carragher is stunned by unbelievable stat he's heard about Kai Havertz after Arsenal versus Man City. Ever since he arrived in North London, Kai Havertz has been something of a Swiss Army knife for Mikel Arteta at Arsenal, his utility man. In the absence of Martin Odegaard, Havertz returned to midfield for Arsenal against Atalanta in the Champions League. The German then effectively played as a second right fullback against Manchester City, barely 10 meters ahead of Julian Timber after Leandro Trossard's red card. Havertz has Arteta's wholehearted trust, something that isn't always easy to achieve given his lofty standards. That being said, Havertz has often been willing to sacrifice his own personal interest as a goal scorer when appropriate. He is well and truly someone who puts the team first, and as mentioned, that was very evident against City when Havertz was just sitting in and trying to win aerial duels whilst holding the line. Given his role, a remarkable stat emerged after the 2-2 draw that Havertz didn't play a single pass to one of his teammates, something Jamie Carragher mentioned on the Stick to Football podcast. Carragher was shocked by the stat, one that Ian Wright thought needed to be said in context of the exceptional circumstances. Carragher initially said, "This is a great start in the whole game. Even when they had 11 men for a half of football, Kai Havertz never made one pass in the whole game. That is pretty unbelievable." Wright replied, "What does that stat prove? Did it make any difference?" Carragher said, "I'm talking about the whole game when it was 11 versus 11. Of course, some Arsenal fans have actually disputed that statistic altogether, pointing to a slight tackle Havertz made, which turned into a pass received by Bukayo Saka on the wing. Arsenal have no intention to cash in on 25-year-old first-team ace. Arsenal are still unbeaten this season after a fine start to their campaign. The Gunners have played 5 matches in the league, one in the Champions League and another one in the Carabao Cup. They have managed to avoid defeat in all of them, showing the strength of their squad and the brilliant work manager Mikel Arteta is doing at the club. The North London club added Riccardo Calafiori, Mikel Merino and Neto to their squad this summer, and 2 of them are yet to play at the club, while the Italian defender has already become a fan favourite after his stunning goal against Manchester City. One player who has been linked with a move away from the Emirates Stadium recently is a Japan international defender Takahiro Tomiyasu. According to Football Insider, the Gunners have no intention to sell their reliable 25-year-old defender. It would take a massive offer for them to even consider the sale of the defender, who is yet to feature for them this season due to an injury. Tomiyasu is a versatile defender who can play anywhere across the back line. Arteta considers the player an important member of his first team setup and he wants to keep him at the club. The Japanese defender has attracted interest from Italian champions Inter Milan ahead of the January transfer window. Tomiyasu will have less playing time at Arsenal though, with players like Riccardo Calafiori, Julian Timber and Ben White being ahead of him in the pecking order for the fullback positions. After joining the club 3 years ago, the defender has become an integral part of the squad, who has even accepted a minimum role at the club without any problems. He is a dream player for every manager who is ready to fill in and play at any position whenever there is a need. £125 million player wants to leave next summer, and Arsenal are interested in signing him. With another season of Champions League money behind Arsenal, they could have the cash reserves to go out and make a splash next summer, and many are expecting the Gunners to go big on a striker. Indeed, Benjamin Sesko has been strongly linked with a move to Arsenal next summer as the Gunners search for a new number 9. However, Arsenal may instead go for another elite creative midfield player as they are being linked with one of Germany's top young stars. According to Christian Falk, Arsenal are amongst the clubs interested in Florian Wirtz. The Bayer Leverkusen star is valued at €150 million and he apparently wants to make a move next summer. Arsenal are among the interested clubs, but unfortunately, they are not the only team keen on Wirtz. Indeed, Manchester City, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich have also been credited with an interest in Wirtz. As good of a signing as this would be, Florian Wirtz to Arsenal isn't a move that makes much sense. Arsenal already have Martin Odegaard in their team in that number 10 position, and they don't need to spend over £100 million on a player who plays a very similar role. Wirtz simply wouldn't work in the same team as Odegaard, and Arsenal don't need this type of player at the moment. If Arsenal are to make a blockbuster signing next summer, they need to go after a genuine goal-scoring striker, not a player like Wirtz. This would be an exciting signing, but sadly, it's not one that is very logical. Arsenal and Chelsea sent scouts to watch in-demand striker this week. Arsenal and Chelsea are reportedly keeping tabs on the German attacker Max Moerstedt. According to a report from TBR Football, the two clubs are keeping tabs on the 18-year-old Hoffenheim ace, and it remains to be seen whether they follow up on their interest with an official proposal to sign the player. Moerstedt made his Europa League debut on Wednesday night, and he scored an outstanding goal in front of the Arsenal and Chelsea scouts. The 18-year-old is capable of operating anywhere across the front three, and he has the attributes to develop into a quality player in the long term. The likes of Manchester United, Liverpool, and Tottenham Hotspur have been watching the player over the last 12 months as well. Arsenal and Chelsea will face increased competition for his services in the coming months. Both London clubs could use a quality striker, and it remains to be seen whether they come forward with an official offer soon. Arsenal need to bring an alternative to Gabriel Jesus, who has not been able to score goals consistently. The Brazilian will need to be replaced if Arsenal are serious about pushing for the league title. Moerstedt could be attracted to the idea of playing in the Premier League, especially if Arsenal are willing to offer him ample first-team action. Meanwhile, Chelsea need an alternative to Nicolas Jackson, who has been quite underwhelming since the move from La Liga. Chelsea were overly dependent on Cole Palmer for goals last season, and the England international needs more support in the attack. It remains to be seen where the 18-year-old ends up eventually. He has the quality to develop into a top-class Premier League attacker, and the likes of Arsenal and Chelsea could nurture him into a future superstar. Romano notes discussions ongoing for Arsenal-linked Musiala. Jamal Musiala remains one of the brightest young talents in world football, so it stands to reason why Arsenal would be interested. The 21-year-old, who has a market value of €130 million, is out of contract in summer 2026, and if he doesn't sign a new contract with Bayern Munich next summer, represents the last chance that the Bavarians could get a reasonably good fee for his services. Arsenal, along with many other interested parties, will no doubt be banking on the same. However, the Gunners are said to be disappointed in their pursuit, as Fabrizio Romano has provided a definitive update on Musiala's situation. He said, "There have been discussions ongoing between Jamal Musiala and Bayern for months, and they are still in negotiations. Bayern consider Musiala's extension as a top priority. That's the only concrete news on Musiala now. All the rest is not something concrete. Arsenal have been linked with him, but guys, every week 5 clubs are linked because interest is normal for such a top player." It's believed that the youngster wants somewhere in the region of €300,000 per week in order to sign his new long-term deal, and if that figure is accurate, it's likely to rule Arsenal out in any event. Their top earner Kai Havertz is on £280,000 per week, and it will surely upset the team if Musiala was to be seen to earn more than anyone else. In any event, it looks as though that's not even going to be a consideration, as Bayern will almost certainly push as hard as they can to get the player to put pen to paper. The Bavarians are crushing it in the Bundesliga this season, and success is surely just around the corner once more. I will be uploading daily Arsenal news, so keep your eyes on the channel and don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate your support. Peace out.